I'm reading your message. Hello, everyone. It's good to see you. Please join your hands in front of your heart and bow. Sometimes there is content, sometimes there is not. Sometimes things arise, they dissolve, and according to their own conditions. We sometimes give them meaning in order to have a sense of being here inside a context, wanting for directions in life. We want to know what to do. We want stepstones in order to, let's say, manage our life in a way that it is the most enjoyable and the less painful. Does it work? Does it work? Most of the time we realize that we had many plans. Maybe we've organized well, we've thought through it, and yet it really looks like chaos. like as if lots of um, spears are sent to us just to hurt us. Right? And if we do not have the Dharma as a refuge, then we will try keeping everything under control, trying to surround ourselves with people we like, and trying to keep what we like and discard what we do not like. And it will be a kind of swim with obstacles. Yes, trying to. But we cannot live uh, in our home only. We cannot keep avoiding the unpleasant. So the practice is to, uh, let's say, endure, be patient with the pleasant and the unpleasant. We look at when there is pleasant feeling, when we want to keep it, when we want to grasp it, to maintain it, to delight in it. When we want to favor such and such conditions, such and such environment, actions, to make the pleasant last. And we also understand, see clearly when we want to push away the unpleasant, wanting it to last a little bit less, and want to make it stop at any cost. We are not condemning ourselves for doing so. We just learn. We just learn how from a feeling, it might be a feeling in the body, unpleasant bodily sensations. We learn from that. We learn to discern the unpleasant sensation from mind activity that actually creates a story around it and which clings on the story and the making of someone actually feeling the feeling. So we learn this process. We do not condemning. There is no should. I shouldn't be. I shouldn't opposing the unpleasant. So this we observe. We are aware of the unpleasant feeling. You can see the rising. Keep with it, and you can see the dissolving. Rising, dissolving. Same with pleasant feeling, arising, dissolving. And then you might, if your mindfulness is sharp, you can really observe the mind activity around that. The grasping, the clinging. And maybe at the beginning you will be lost. Oh yeah, I'm again feeling bad in the body because of this sickness, because of this, of that. Or because I ate too much, I feel bad, and so on. See, look at this activity. Maybe it will bring you far away in your inner narratives. Then you bring yourself back. Oh, the mind was lost in its narrative. Okay, come back into looking at vedana, the feeling. because there will be the feeling out of contact as condition. Then feeling is the condition for the arising of clinging. Clinging is the condition for the arising of craving. So you can see that chain of development and how this process constructs the sense of yourself and how it activates action, speech, and thought. You learn from that clear comprehension, how it works. And then the more you observe feeling, the more you understand it, and the more you say, oh, feeling is feeling. Pleasant feeling and pleasant feeling. You start with the practice to realize that pleasant feeling and pleasant feeling, or anything in between, is kind of a spectrum. Some are very intense, some very not intense, but yeah, clearly unpleasant, but low intensity, very pleasant, high intensity, and anything in between, neither pleasant nor pleasant, it's called in the Buddha's teachings. And then you start more and more to stay with it. And this is, you start to relax. You start to relax even in the painful. And this is a kind of, yeah, it's kind of key teaching. It's kind of key to look at this mindfulness of vedana, of feeling tone. And it can be very subtle inside the body. It can be very, very strong. And you can have a look in your life throughout the day. When you start to feel really tensed, for example, or when someone speaks to you and you start to want to react and to speak not that kindly, express, yeah, how someone saying something can create feeling, strong feeling. If you really think about it, those are words we apply, a meaning is applied to them. And there is also this distortion believing that that we receive it, the being criticized. But when you catch, let's say, yourself at the feeling of it, like, okay, receiving, receiving, and just how to say that in English, clenching the jaws. And then really like you start to be like this. And okay, feeling tense, feeling wanting to react, and okay, opening again. Feeling is feeling. If you really think about it, words are words. It's sensation in the ear, modulation of the signal. And yet there is an entire process There is an entire process of interpretation, of meaning, of receiving, of making ourselves something more or less uh, important, wanting to react, to say back something. Okay, we receive sound, meaning, interpretation, mind agitation, feeling. And you stay with that feeling. Okay, you can clench the jaws at the beginning. Yes. And then most of the work is just looking at watching the dissipation. All right. Of that feeling. Or is someone telling you some, praise, for example, praise, very kind words. Melts, open my heart. This person is so kind. And then you see also the feeling, good feeling. And maybe you want more of it. Or you want to stay with it, and you realize that the mind will bring as a memory those kind words. Again, this person you like, yeah, memory, and then the mind will, as a mind object, will like that memory and will bring it up again. You will think about it, and then another good feeling will be felt. I should see that person again. I feel at ease with that person. So it's developing the understanding of the process, so that at some point when something impinge, let's say, on the sixth sense basis, and there is contact, consciousness, there is feeling, then somehow you stop at it without the creation. It's not easy, but you can train. You can train with seeing. You can spend some time in any kind of room to put your eyes in the direction of one object, and there can be just seeing, but try to feel the feeling. While scanning the room, you can do that with, of course, physical touch while sitting, or you can also do it, for example, listening to music. Um, the music you like very much, the music you have listened to for 30 years. Notice and delight, enjoying. Okay, this is not only hearing. This is not only hearing. You can create an entire story around the song, and then the memories that it brings back. This is this entire process from feeling to mind activity. Clinging as I'm listening to that music that I like very much, and then the narrative or the music you do not like at all, and or the re- if you put a song in repeat like 20 times. Yeah, okay, it looks like torture. Don't do that. Don't do that. But you can make it an experiment. Or try to meditate also in a very loud area. You would see how the mind is quick to pick up, to pick up a conversation and to have an opinion about the conversation. And then the opinion will generate some reaction due to you know, and this is how it brings you away. I would say that those are very light exercises to make. But in life, yes, it can be very, very, very intense. And when it's the case, then the reaction is kind of almost proportional. It makes you kind of feel heavy. And you feel that the there is a feeling and the clinging as I am feeling it. And then you start to, let's say, start to justify yourself for having such feeling. So you start to blame, usually, the situation, the person. It's done to me. Look what he said to me. Or he said that, he lied. Or he said that, and he won't do it. He won't do what he promised to do. And then I knew it. And there is a lot of even self-justification. And the mind is just proliferating about what happened and what created this strong feeling. And then there is this craving. Most probably to stop the other person to keep doing what he's doing, either lying or, I don't know, insulting, criticizing, and so on. Or it can be the feeling of, when you fall in love with someone, really this really strong feeling and desiring of being with that person or wanting that person to love you back. And you feel it really in the heart and in the guts. It's really felt in the body as well. How hurtful it is to actually not being able to be with the loved one for some reason. Sometimes you would do anything just to, to go and meet that person. Yeah, this is craving. Craving to get. And you think that because you would do that and be with that person, this unpleasant feeling would uh, disappear and make you at peace. And, well, that may be the case actually. You meet the person, goes well, feeling good again. But then another one, and another craving, and so on and so on. So it's very helpful to understand that dance. How, according to conditions, some stuff arise and dissipates. And how, when some conditions are not there, some stuff do not arise. And you might also realize that sometimes this absence of arising, is a kind of, the mind will activate anything. Find a way to activate the feelings, even if bad feelings. Being not uncomfortable when nothing arises. When there is no reception, let's say. But this is how samadhi, the practice of stillness in meditation, can be insightful, because the feelings, except for let's say the three first absorption states, the feeling tones are very mild and reduced. And especially for the formless states. So we start to learn how it is to live without such strong activations, without such strong desire for maintaining good feelings. We start to learn how it is to live in silence and to live in not wanting, when where the space between the thoughts becomes longer, when there is no or less activation of the senses, or when the thoughts are seen for what they are, like uh, fluctuations of sensations that comes and goes, and when there is no grasping on the meaning and on the content of the story. And by developing samadhi and the arupa jhanas, the absorption states, then you start to really experience what it is to reduce this reactivity and the feelings and perceptions. Okay, until the highest arupa jhanas, absorption states, it's neither perception nor non-perception. So perception is really, really reduced. And there is nirodha samapatti, when there is no perception and no feeling at all. And you realize how this kind of absence of, let's say, activation or strong activation is actually very peaceful. And it gives kind of motivation when you come back to, let's say, daily life, regular life, out of the cushion. Motivation to keep your mindfulness and to really kind of trying to not let that process arise again. Because also you feel that any kind of clinging, craving takes away clarity in decision making, for example. It takes away simplicity and openness in your relationships. It takes a lot of energy. Your nervous systems had problems with calming down. And then you feel not at peace, agitated, not knowing what to do in order to rest this agitation. And I don't know if you're feeling it. For me, it's very, very strong right now, actually. The fire horse energy. It really goes forward, like as if you cannot stop it. So you are pushed. You are pushed. You are pushed, I don't know, there is a kind of, you are pushed to create and manifest. Like, and you can feel it also in others. I don't know, it's like kind of projects are kind of proliferating, and then, yeah, let's plan and do that. This is not a problem, but you are pushed together with everybody. I don't know where we are going. But yeah, we cannot, it's like we cannot go backwards. There is only one way. You see, I'm feeling it very. And this is even more, then it's difficult to say, okay, when there is this pushing forward energy, it becomes quite difficult to say, okay, I step back. I'm just watching. I will take some time to, you know, uh, have have some reflection, contemplation of what I'm going to do. Right now in daily life, there is this kind of machine pushing you, and yeah, it's like you can almost not sit. No time for sitting, just time for creating. So this is the atmosphere, the energetical background we are operating right now. So we have also to go along with it and be aware of it. This is why I'm talking about it. Maybe you haven't realized for yourself yet. Say, okay, God, I don't know why right now I'm not able to even sit in meditation, or it's like it's like I have so many things to do. That's the energy right now. So one has to train that in spite of that, even if we are, pushed into in the stream of doing, trying to still being aware of what's inside of the thoughts, the feelings, even the feeling of being pushed forward. It has a very special, I feel it like a very special frequency. Like, and it really feels like it's even almost unstoppable. So you will be pulled by it, like wanting it or not. One moment, please. All right. So, okay, feel that, and find ways to not be carried along too much. By the creation, the sankharas, the fabrication. That doesn't mean that you can't have projects. That doesn't mean that you can't participate in life. I was talking with a friend, and she was contemplating very deeply uh, suffering. And she arrived at the crossroad that I talked about this very strong grief, very strong sadness. And it was so overwhelming that she wanted to stop this kind of contemplation, or she started to, oh, there's really something wrong with me. And I told her, this is actually where you're supposed to be when the practice is very good. When you've been contemplating dukkha, suffering in every aspect of life, from macro to micro phenomenon. This is very good. And you might really even beg for deliverance of the mind, for liberation, even having this very strong desire for deliverance. That means that the practice is working well. And she told me, but I'm not sure it's the right, I'm not sure I want to walk that path. I want to walk the path of loving life, appreciating beauty, and so on and so on. I love life. So there is really this misunderstanding that the path of disenchantment, it's not the path of rejection. It's not the path of rejecting feelings. It's not the path of isolating oneself and no longer wanting to be in the world, no longer wanting to see beautiful things. It's no longer, it's no longer, it's not the path of pushing away and renunciation, or this kind of work inside practice. It's not it's not avoiding experiencing. It's not avoiding anything. So this is a misunderstanding. It's not that we do not no longer want to live a happy life, or we do not want joy. It's like when there is joy, there is joy. So when there is grief, there is grief. Feeling, kind of a bit more complex mental factors for each. And then I would say that at some point, even how to say that there is a kind of likeness being the same as joy or grief. It's more like seemingly kind of experience sensations. And at some point, it, with the understanding, even grief no longer appears. So the path of disenchantment, I can see it on the YouTube channel. This title is just nobody wants to know about it because it looks like terrible thing. The path of this passion. No, nobody wants to hear about it, and this is why yeah, the Dharma is uh, often described as something that hasn't been heard before. You know, I talked about the benefits of listening to the Dharma, and this is, yeah, hearing something that you've never heard before. So I told that friend, it's a misunderstanding. Actually, it brings quite lots of happiness, peace, and even very pleasant experiences because it removes the clinging, it removes the craving, it removes the suffering. And this is not because you start to understand the mechanism and you let go of some uh, mental patterns and mental habits that you are no longer able to talk to people, to be to care about people, that you are not able to conduct projects. No, this would be a misunderstanding. And that doesn't mean that because you there you have some insights about these things, or that you no longer want to talk about people who do not have those insights. It's all it includes, because you understand those mechanisms, and this law of course is an effect in you, in this conglomerate of activity of body mind, let's say. Then you start to understand also why others uh, react like this. And then there is a kind of, that it's a kind of, you understand that it's kind of flex of rising, ceasing of conditions for everyone. And sometimes, okay, you have to pay back the bad karma you did in the past, so you receive. You receive the criticism, you receive the blame. So, okay, you end, say, okay, but karma is coming. I have to pay back somehow. Yeah. And the cat is is mewing. All right, you agree with that? Yeah. You're paying your debt too, being an animal. He's listening the Dharma. You see. So maybe he will be reborn as a human being. Most probably. Yes. Well, last time he was also like this, and he he uses his claws to shred the Samyutta Nikaya in the book with these teachings. So I'm not sure about that. So you see, sometimes good karma listening to the Dhamma, sometimes bad karma just shredding in pieces the Samyutta Nikaya. Just like us. Yes. So that was today's teachings. Thank you for listening. I wish you the possibility to practice. I wish you as well. I'm wanting to say something. I forgot. Many, many blessings and well, nothing is coming, so I cannot keep talking. Thank you. I'm gonna ring the bell 3 times. Now. So if there is any question, please feel free to ask. You're welcome. Bye bye. You're welcome.